Hello, I'm Chad Fregon with the Liberty football team. We're here for our first press conference of the year. I'd like to thank everybody for attending today. We're coming off our first game and got a victory against St. Joe Central, a game that we thought we played pretty well in. We won 49-28 against a team that beat us twice last year. And definitely have some things we can work on before week 2. We know it's a long season, but it was a good start for us. And continued on with the JV win last night at St. Joe, 32-0. We're proud of those kids. And it was just good to see some wins to start the year and as we move into our week 2 game against Belton. I'll go ahead and open it up for some questions. Go ahead.
Hi, Coach Fregon.
Hello.
So how do you think splitting the game into Friday and Saturday changed the way that you guys were playing, good or bad?
Well, it was really a unique situation with us splitting the game with the storms that rolled in around halftime and then having to finish it on Saturday. I had one other experience that happened with Ray Peck about 5 or 6 years ago where we had almost the exact same thing. We had to come back and finish the next day, and that day we lost. And so we took some things we remembered that we did and tweaked some things. Just a credit to our kids. Once we got back to the school that night, it was pretty late. Coaches stayed and we broke down the first half, and that's a kind of a neat thing that we were able to do, which you don't normally get to do, as we broke down that as coaches. And then our kids came in at 8:30 the next morning, and we went through changes to make and corrections to make on offense and with defense, walked through them. And to our kids' credit, they put that to use, and went out and played a really good second half on Saturday afternoon. So we were at an advantage, obviously, by being at home in that situation. So it was good that we took advantage of it and were able to play well in that second half. So nonetheless, it made for a short weekend, but it was really good to pick up a win.
After watching the first game, how do you feel that this season will compare to seasons in the past?
Well, I think just looking at more than just win-loss records, our group of kids have been really accountable and they seem to work well together, and we're excited about that. And we feel that maybe our schemes fit our kids really well this year. We want to be a big physical football team that can run the football and stop the run, and those are our goals every week. And we were able to do that this week, except for a couple big plays on the defense that we gave up. So we know there's a lot of work to do, but at the same time, we feel like it was a good start, and hopefully it leads to things that we can do throughout our remaining 9 games that we have here on our schedule.
So you guys ran the football a lot this last week. Are you going to do that again versus Belton?
Well, I think our whole entire philosophy is we run to set up the pass, and with the way that we line up, and we just feel our team's built that way. Robert Rowley had a big game running the football. We have other guys who can run the ball well as well, but it's really started by just those one-on-one battles up front on the offensive and defensive lines. And we know we have to win those things. If we do that, we'll be able to run the ball and control the clock, and that'll be our goal going into every game.
Have you ever thought about putting senior running back Bennett Swope into the game?
Bennett Swope's actually a defensive end for us, and he has taken some reps on offense, and definitely a good player. We're hoping we can work him in at some point.
Are you guys doing anything different to train for the Hy-V game of the week rather than a normal game?
No, we're really treating it the same as far as our practices go. I just think it's a neat honor that we were picked for the Hy-V game of the week, and to play at Belton has a beautiful stadium and facility down there, and a good football team that was ranked in the top 10 in preseason. So we're excited to go down there and play, and I know we have a spirit bus going down. Hopefully a lot of kids go down and show how good a school spirit that we have, even on the road when it's on a TV game. I thought our crowd last week, even with the game coming back on Saturday, was outstanding. There's some pictures of our student section that was huge and just great to play with that kind of support.
How are you preparing for the game this Friday?
Well, when you look at the preparations that are different, their offense is similar to St. Joe's in that they're a spread team that runs the ball with zone blocking schemes, and but a lot of their similarities with offense. They have a good throwing quarterback, a strong running back, good offensive line. Defensively, they're different, though, in that they line up in a 3-3 defense, whereas last week we did face some 3-3, but mainly started off, they based out of a 4-2. So it has taken a different preparation for us that we started on last night and again on with our upcoming practices this week. Yes.
Okay. How do you think the seniors are going to impact your season?
Well, we're really fortunate. We have a good group of 21 seniors. They are kids, many of them have played on the field quite a bit, and the ones that are new are really we have some guys that are seniors playing for their first time getting in varsity action. They seem to be a group that they take a lot of pride in what they do. hold their other classmates, whether they be sophomores or juniors, accountable in all they do. And just a really good group of kids. We tell them all the time, you know, coaches, we have the practice plan and we can control who's there and who's not, but they really control how hard and how much effort, enthusiasm, and energy they want to bring to their practices. And they've done a great job with that. I think the biggest thing is that they like each other and get along and respect each other, and really have found their role in our team, trying to help us improve each week. Yes.
With the new turf field coming in, are you excited to start playing your games at home?
Yeah, we are. And just a beautiful setting. The turf was outstanding. Oh, yesterday we got on it for the first time for our Monday practice. We plan to practice there Tuesday and Wednesday. There's a sophomore game there on Thursday. But it's going to allow us to practice on a field. We have a grass field up top that's 100 and the official width and everything. But this will allow us to practice on a field that has the correct markings, the numbers where you line up, hash marks, everything we need to do that'll help us prepare for games. And I think it's also good to have this that we can practice on it in any type of weather and prepare. And then looking forward down the road to when we get bleachers to be able to play all of our games there. It'll be just a beautiful setting and really a part of our high school, which is a great high school here in Kansas City. Yes.
After a rough start last year, how important was it to get off to a good start this year?
Really, it's been a rough start the last 2 years with the way we've started off. So it was really two reasons we felt. One, we need to get off on a good start to change that and get some confidence and some momentum rolling. The last 2 years, we've lost at least some at Weston or opener, and obviously a great program. And both those times came out with some injuries after that first game that kind of put us behind going in the next part of our schedule. So we were fortunate to get to this game without any major injuries and a win, and it feels really good. I mean, it's definitely been a point of emphasis. I think the other part of that is looking at St. Joe Central last year, beat us on the last play of the game here and then beat us in the playoffs. They beat us twice, and I know our kids were focused and excited to play them in week one.
So you mentioned earlier about St. Joe Central. What do you think was different from the team last year than the team this year that we faced in this past week?
Well, I think they replaced quite a few starters on the defensive side of the ball, and that allowed us to produce more, obviously, with us executing better as well. They also they returned one of the best running backs in the city, in Israel Smith, and when we look at how we defended him well, except for 2 plays. He had 2 plays, a 95-yard play and a 70-yard play, that made up a bulk of his yardage, and ones where we were there, just didn't make tackles. And so hopefully, big plays have been something that have plagued us in the past. We know we have to get better and cut down on those as our season progresses.
What do you think the biggest challenge of this year is going to be?
Well, I think when you look at within our challenge right now is to be able to be more consistent with what we do. We can't be a team, that puts together a 14-play drive on one drive and then goes 3 and out in the next. That puts us behind the 8 ball quite a bit. We're off to a good start in turnover margin, and that is 3-1. The last 2 years we've been negative in that. And when you look at who wins high school football games, it's usually 3 factors: and who rushes the ball the best, who wins a turnover margin, and then who wins on special teams. So we know that those are our goals going into each and every game. We're going to have to be consistent, keep care of the football, and create turnovers with our defense. All right, thanks for coming today, and we'll see you next week after the Belton game. I hope to see you all on the Spirit Bus and headed down to Belton for the game with the Pirates. Thank you.